The website.
Say again?
Yeah, digital films, I'm gonna put them on the website as well, or-
We will when they're finished. They're not quite finished.
Not finalized.
They're coming. They're coming. We're excited. We'll talk about them.
John was talking about.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. There's a couple of changes to the agenda. Your minutes, the September 13th minutes will also be approved. I don't need to add a letter I received. That'll come under communications. Under new business, we have to approve a hiring rec board.
Yeah.
And the Kevin McGinn contract.
And you want to add RFPs for Cleveland?
Down there.
They're on there.
It is.
Done. Way ahead of you.
Oh,
Yeah, so I added.
Happens occasionally.
Yeah.
Very, very.
I know.
rarely.
It was a rough day.
Okay, so with that being done, the first order of business to approve minutes from September 13th and September 27th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, department head reports. Well, let's see, well, rec is up first then. And rec isn't here. I know things are in full swing over there. I don't know if there's any other comments to be made in her report.
I think people are happy that the ice is still rolling.
Yeah, they went down in pretty good shape. There are some things that she identified in her report about the exterior of the pavilion. I think that some of that's gonna have to be addressed by our rec committee and see how they're gonna go forward with how to work on the pavilion, so. Anything else to add from that, rec committee?
No, I would say the hiring, the town, Randy from the town board and I sat in on the interviews.
Yeah.
Seemed-
And that's later in here,
Yeah, right.
there's recommendation on who they're hiring, so. Okay, village superintendent, he is busy today doing the dinner for county chamber. That we unfortunately
Which we,
didn't miss.
yeah.
I
We are not there.
Eating.
Right.
I gotta tell you, he's one heck of a cook.
Here's good.
He's a good chef.
Is there any comment on anything in his report? Big thing is brush pickup is moving forward. Really important that people understand that we're not picking up plastic.
Got some good comments from people on Judson Street for the raised sidewalk, the improved sidewalk. The
Where they
family,
fixed the.
the drainage problem.
Well, yeah, they redid sidewalks there.
That's a big improvement.
There's flashing lights.
When it rained hard there a week or two ago, they had
It worked.
way less flooding.
Yeah.
It's
Good.
greatly improved. So
Problem solved.
thanks to Tim and the crew for
Oh,
a good
okay.
job.
And for being persistent at it, because it's been a while
Yeah,
to
it's been a
figure
while.
out how
They've
to
made
fix
several
it.
improvements and
Mhm.
finally raising the sidewalk made a big difference.
Okay.
That changed the whole balance of the terrain there.
The engineering,
The
yeah.
water doesn't all come in the yard. That made a big difference. Yeah.
So there's quite a bit he has in his report. Some tree work's gonna go on and water hydrant flushing is gonna be taking place too.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
We helped a dead end hydrant on the fire last night. So,
There was
That's
one
one
down.
down.
yeah, tonight and tomorrow night. So,
That's not fun.
okay, let's see what's coming up next here. The golf course. Anything to add to your report?
Well, we had a record year for calendar year revenues. So that's a good sign.
Mhm.
We're heading in the right direction.
Well,
And Scott's done a wonderful job in transition into next year. I think is gonna be one of the best year again ever. Um, and like I said, we just need weather to cooperate.
The one thing we can't control.
last day is the 22nd.
Monday's it. We've already aerated all the greens, all the fairways, all the tees. Everything's been picked up. I've been cleaning golf carts and disconnecting the batteries and putting distilled water in them. I've got 12 more to do.
Is there, where are we in the leasing program?
Next year will be the end of one lease,
Okay,
and we have one more after that.
Right.
We have a 5-year and 4-year right now.
We stagger half and half, right?
Yeah, well, it's 30 and 15.
Okay.
30 and 20, actually, I think it is. 35 and 15. And if it's all possible, I'd like to just do it all into one lease on the next one. And then we gotta look at the decision on lithium batteries or stick with the other batteries.
Okay.
Cause I think that's where we're headed in the next 3 years.
Hmm.
Lithium batteries.
wonderful. Well, I see what happens when they burn, so.
Yeah, well, I don't wanna be sitting on it when it does.
Yeah, right?
If we could somehow use that heat, for.
Yeah.
It's
Anything
the
for Kevin?
chemicals that go in the air.
Right, right.
Okay. Economic developer, she is not here. Pretty complete list of the things she's working on. Assessor here.
She's on.
She's on the
Oh.
on Zoom.
Zoom. On Zoom.
Hello? Cindy?
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys saw my message. My uncle just passed away 2 hours ago down in Florida, so that's why I had planned on being at the meeting, but I came home because I wanted to talk to my aunt. Anyway, life goes on, I guess. Anyway, just any, I guess I was talking about on my report about the waterfront. And if anybody had any questions about that, and I had 2 properties sell, and they had water frontage, and I went to review it, and when I looked at the way it was coded on the file, it wasn't coded right. And when we code water frontage, we usually put what the front of and the depth of what the water is. So I had about a little over 50 or 60 parcels that I want to go over and recalculate them and put them down on the record for the way that's supposed to be coded. And then when it'll be run against the land table, usually you value the water frontage first, and then the rest of it is residual. So they have to be measured. I got to go out on Dank and measure what the water frontage is and what the depth is of the lot, and then calculate out the what that acreage is, and then subtract that from the total acreage, and then come up with the residual acreage. So that's in the process. I'm hoping to get that done for the 2024 assessment roll. There's still sales coming in over and above what the assessments are, and if we could find anything that's missing and on the inventory, try to update the records and everything, and that's it. I've been out there data collecting. I'm out on Judson Street Road since it's nicely paved. So and that's about it. Does anybody have any questions about my report?
Well, we're good.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, I think we're good. Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Very sorry for your loss, Cindy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and feel free to leave the meeting.
Yeah, you can,
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
hang around.
Don't hang
Yeah.
out.
Please leave the, go take care of your family.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for your report. That's
Okay.
what we need.
You're next. Chief.
Other than the report, I just wanted to throw out a couple things briefly. So if anybody paid attention to the news Saturday morning about 1 o'clock in the morning. We had 2 patrol cars get one very slightly damaged and the other one more extensively damaged. Still waiting on estimates from Boyden Brook. We're not as bad off as the sheriff is. Their car is done.
Total.
Total.
So that will hopefully come to a conclusion. We're hoping like very quickly
Mhm.
by tomorrow, the next day, so. Kick out a press release to let everybody know what's going on with that. The other thing I wanted to bring up briefly, had a few instances, not every day, but there's been some instances lately that Woods Drive mostly, and a little bit of Farmer have been backing up with traffic. For the pickup for Bamford, Woods Drive is, by the estimation of my officers, essentially impassable, probably by a big truck.
Mm.
DPW or more worrisome, a fire truck or ambulance, so.
Yeah.
Because everyone's parking on both sides, so that may be something that needs to be considered.
Mhm. And it's for pickup and not, it's not drop off, it's just
Not
pickup.
drop off, it's
Yeah.
gonna be pickup. So
Well,
in the
and-
afternoons.
Woods is close, right?
Yeah, there's been
Farmer's closer.
I've gone up and checked a couple of times. There's been cars parked right across the crosswalk.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not, it
We
made
even
quite a
had
mess.
one day where they were parking in State Street, which they're not even supposed to be on State Street. so-
Right.
Yeah. 'cause
Although
buses
it's very
can-
quick, within about 20 minutes, it's all gone, so by the time the officers, they were tied up with something else, by the time they got up there, a couple cars were left and they were pulling out, so.
Right.
Do you think it would have an effect if they went up before pickup?
Oh, I've
Ju-
sent them up a few times. but
And
we've Been a little busy with some other stuff.
Well, I'm
Every-
sure,
No,
but
but, yeah, I've sent them up there a few times when I
little.
can and they.
do
it's-
people just ignore them or do they?
No, they're not on State Street anymore. They haven't cut any more on State Street.
Okay.
So,
You got the
Good.
message.
well,
Mm.
either that or it's just was a weird day. I don't know. So,
Mm.
but we may want to discuss at least
Mhm.
Woods Drive.
Mhm.
And I don't know if we want to talk about Farmer at the same, Upper Farmer Street at the same time or not, but that's. up to you folks.
Is Upper Farmer as bad as
No.
Woods?
It's not as bad.
It feels, I
don't
feel
know
like
if
it's a little bit
if
wider.
If we do one, if it's gonna push it to another
Yeah,
or not. we don't
Uh-huh.
know.
that would be logical.
So it's just something to consider. I don't know if you wanna do it like one side of the street, no parking at all, or maybe you do, maybe some kind of during this time period. Something, whatever, you know, we can.
We can, we held off on having a public hearing about parking on those streets just because we wanted to see how it developed. And
Right.
at first it was fine, but now it appears that some of it started to be a problem again. I don't know if
And as
much
weather
will
gets
change
worse.
once construction's over with, but you know.
So is a possibility it is construction related?
Oh, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more parking.
Mm-hmm.
but
Right,
It's mostly people
but
picking up.
pickup, it's
so
not
it's-
necessarily
Right.
Maybe
parking.
from Bamford, not the high school.
Yeah,
Right.
pickup
So
is,
that's not really gonna be affecting the parking on the
Yeah,
other side.
right, so
Hmm.
it's a more permanent.
That's, if you've ever been up there, which I'm sure some of you have, it is a madhouse in that parking lot, so.
It was
we haven't
tight.
had people get hit.
Yeah.
Yep,
So we can put on the agenda for November, public
Yeah.
hearing about parking on
Mhm.
Woods. And
And
then,
Farmer.
why
Farmer.
not? I'd say do
Seems
it.
like it would be important to,
Cleveland
I
for
mean,
that
if
matter. too.
only so people know we're paying attention to
Yeah.
it and
Right.
the
Get input.
answer will be no
Okay.
parking.
Yeah.
So,
might be good
Okay.
to communicate with the school about that
Right, I was
too.
thinking.
Well,
about
They
we-
could help to get our message out as well.
Probably going, yeah, the school and probably the neighbors. So
Mhm.
a few of those have.
Yeah.
Mentioned a few things, but I don't know if everyone feels the same way or not, but.
mhm.
Yeah, cause it's their yard.
Well, they have, yeah,
And that's why I'm not so sure about permanent no parking in certain areas, because some of those folks may, I mean, I don't.
Well, I think, you know, one side of the street, you know,
That might be the way to do
Is
it.
the way to do
Do one side of the street
only,
Right.
so,
only.
okay? So we'll do something, how about we schedule a public hearing for 6:15,
Mhm.
at our November meeting.
And that construction is, are we looking at most of the year? Do we know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we can always rescind it another time, but I think there's value in no parking,
No, I think so too.
on certain areas. so.
The other thing to consider too, just to throw it out, Mayor mentioned it. The last time we spoke, is sometimes on weekends or evening times, there's other events that are happening, like sporting events on the weekends, and they'll park anywhere.
Well, when they
Right.
had parents, teachers conferences. it was-
Yeah.
Halloween, the
It
day of
was
Halloween,
Mhm.
when they have the
massive.
parade.
It's just kind of
They don't have
a free for all.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we are not invited. No. Parents don't go. It's not nearly as fun as, yeah. Yep. For years. Yeah. Mhm. But, yeah, I think that
So we'll do a
That's
public
good.
hearing.
Halloween's coming up.
Isn't
At
it?
least it's not the weekend.
It is not, it's a Tuesday, right?
We're gonna do it like a
Yeah,
Monday or Tuesday.
yeah.
What?
6:15 or something.
6:15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, let's say, is there a
So
question?
we'll put it on the agenda so that we
Do
can
we?
pass a resolution for something specific,
Mhm.
if we choose to go that way.
Great.
Okay?
Can I ask a quick question? Do we have additional officers on for Halloween?
I
Or-
always at least have two, sometimes I
Right.
can sweep in a third.
Okay. Right.
We don't usually seem to have too many issues. We usually stay on top of driving around constantly. I don't want to just. So, yeah, we do much.
Yeah, my neighborhood gets slammed. I love it.
Anything else for Jim? Okay, code.
Pretty quiet this month, 7 permits, total revenue is 669, 58, and, getting into some fire safety inspections, ramping that up a little bit. Had a lot of variance hearings and public planning board meetings, I don't know, with this new code revision, I think they predicted there would be a lot of variances, and it is a coming bill.
Mhm.
And let me see, we selected a vendor for software last month. Everybody- So that's about it, if anybody's got any other questions.
Do you have a upgrade like time frame yet for the software?
We don't have a contract yet. It's contracts under review at this point.
Oh. Okay.
I thought I signed something on,
Yeah.
You sent it to me or
sent it to you.
today?
No,
Last week, I think.
Last week.
Week before,
Yeah.
yeah.
I sent it to you,
Okay.
copy you.
Contract?
Yeah.
All right, I guess we have a contract. When did you send it?
I'll go back and
I'll
look.
find it and forward it to you right now.
Any other questions for Tim? Okay. What,
I'll have my report, not a lot to add, except that our treasurer is here this evening.
yeah, she
For
wanted to come and be entertained.
Be quiet today.
anybody that has not met her, this is Sharon Cadet.
Hi, nice to meet everybody.
Sharon works on Wednesdays and Thursdays at our office.
Welcome.
She wanted to hang around and watch the entertainment.
Yes.
See what all the friends about here.
One thing that other thing that the mayor and I have been talking about is records management. And I have been working with Lee, who's been working with Lenore for a
Mhm.
possible intern, for records management, which may solve part of the problem. So we're working on it. That's a work in progress.
Every piece of paper we can
Get rid of.
get rid of.
If you need interns, I can post with Salem too.
Okay, all right, we're just trying
Goes through
to
our
create
Yeah.
a description and get started in that.
Perfect.
Anything else for Sally? Well,
Yeah,
hi,
I don't often come, but I feel my reports are accessible with all the work I put in physical.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been told, you don't have these pictures. I says, well, the boards don't know everyone that I'm working with.
I love
I
the
love the
pictures.
pictures.
I love
Thank
the
you.
pictures.
Visuals are
But
always
my
good.
concern is the first, on my report with Mrs. Southwood. But she has her maiden name too. She was not happy with our website. Did you read it?
oh,
Oh, yeah. And they are from Mayflower. Lottie Southworth's library up there. And I've been working with those, with their history, before the pandemic. And then they came up months ago with a 1861 book from the Civil War. It is an unbelievable shape, and she wants to leave it there, which I want to have an open house for people to come and see it, because it's a crazy quote. Then the family has another one, 1863, it's the same aunt made two of them.
Wow.
And he wants to leave them there.
Mm.
And today I had the grass cover players ask me. And Ben Borman said, I have the hanging barbershop with the names from the first one,
Oh, nice.
and they're in a plaque. So people are really donating their history there because they feel it's safe. And Mary Ann probably told you we were renting it for 2 more years.
Have we had that communication?
Good, Doug, good to hear.
I wasn't told, I was told at first that I had to make a pinky promise that I wouldn't tell anybody.
Oh, no, not.
No kidding. So I told my son and my daughter, and I got in trouble for that. I broke my pinky promise,
Uh-oh.
but now it's out.
It's fair.
So, no,
So much for pinky promise.
that's right. But
To ask
anyway,
the
oh, and
You're
Alan.
gonna put that in
attorney
notes.
if that's.
Yeah.
told them in the word of law.
Pinky promise with a big X.
Now,
We'll take a lot of research.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's very precedent. for that.
Just look under
Alan
pinky.
Merrill, he came in and was gonna donate his Remington print in a beautiful frame.
Nice.
And I looked on the back. I said, Alan, I don't know if this is an original. Please go to the Remington. So he did go over. And no, they have a few of those prints. And he said, maybe you would get $200, $100. And I felt badly for him. So I gave him $100 because he's leaving it with us. The frame, the Remington people said that frame is worth more than the picture.
Oh, dear.
And so it's gonna hang in a prominent place because it's Remington's camp.
Mm.
So that was, he's just a doll. He just asked me first, and the conference was wonderful. It was in Ithaca.
I
And,
think that's great.
well, I know my daughter went there.
Mhm.
So anyway, I would not buy the lunches at the hotel. I wanted to go where I used to meet my daughter when she lived there for 4 years. So I have to tell you, in the afternoon, people in the commons, you know, you can't drive in the commons there, smoking marijuana.
No.
I mean, it wasn't in the morning, but in the afternoon.
They wait till noon.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
appropriate.
it.
Right.
Better get used to it.
And
It's the way
they don't get in
it is.
trouble for it.
Mm.
Only if there's arguments. But one couple was having an argument. But the conference was wonderful. And Sally Noble's nephew was, I should have known him right away, but he kept following me and I'm going.
He was following.
Yes, well, he
He's not a
wanted to
stalker,
introduce
he's not.
himself. He went to school- he
Oh,
went to school with Cody.
You can
And
recall.
his daughter.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
So Saturday, we're Nancy LaFever, who's now the county historian, who's wonderful to work with. So she's having 15 of us county historians, well, town historians are coming Saturday to the sheriff's place. There's, I guess, a big meeting place. And we're hoping he's coming because the president of the association is coming.
ooh.
All the historians don't know. Nancy comes to me.
Bringing all the secrets.
Oh,
out.
so many, thank you, promise.
I'm hoping Aaron's gonna come. No, it's busy. There's never a dull moment in there. And Ren is Bissett. I have to give her some kind of award. She has been with me 7 years after her husband, Tunk Bissett, who worked for the village. She is unreal. She's gonna be 91. And she doesn't want a party. I've had 2 male parties. Let me give you a party, but I'm gonna have an open house for the quote. And she said, I'll help you with that. And Susan Mindy came in today. Oh, and she wants to volunteer sometime. Susan Mindy, she wants to start writing again.
Mm.
So we spent an hour today discussing it. I think Tom talked to her too. So that will be a big help because at 76, I will be retiring at some point. But not right now. And not next year. And probably not the next year.
Well, there you go.
Depends on how I feel. but I have grandchildren. One swimming Tuesday or swimming on Saturdays. And then I have board meetings, so I appreciate you not insisting on coming to every board meeting.
Appreciate it.
Well, keep sending us those good pictures.
Yep,
I
we
will.
do like the reports, and if I could just make the comment in response to the first,
Lady. I know you're working on it.
absolutely, we are, and at this point, you know, it really is not an efficient use of anybody's time to
No.
really work on the old site, so
No.
we just gotta get the new site up and then
Never put anything
it'll
on
be
it.
better.
And my
So,
site is crazy, it's not real. And then I helped with the library with their little library scavenger hunt. And I have
Nice.
one right near my door.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Yes. So it's been a good month, they're usually good months, so. I just love it. And I love doing my job. This is special.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome,
Anything else for?
thanks Sally. And I
Okay.
love your assistance here now because we work together in the town. You're lucky to have her.
I don't think I missed anybody. I need a motion to approve department head report.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Committee reports. I bet you there's a couple out there to report on. If it's not on the agenda in another place. Who's gonna go first?
go.
Tag, you're it.
All right, well, I mean, just a note from the finance committee that, we are happy to have Sharon joining us on the finance committee, and I planned that even before I knew you were sitting there. We got to hear something about how the transition process is going. It sounds like it's going smoothly. So I'm just really happy about all of that. Infrastructure, one of the things mentioned in Tim Bacon's report was that we received a quote back from Barton and LaJudas for the transmission lines, the rest of the drinking water project. I think that at this point, where the infrastructure committee is just not quite ready to move forward with any recommendations there. We have some more work to do to figure out the best, you know, strategies for funding it and moving forward. So that's where we're at with that. And then I also just wanted to note that we've had some communication from Aaron at Tisdale, and that the progress on the NEPA is it is going forward. It seems like it's nearly done, perhaps.
It's to the SHPO stage, and I think that he ought to be in pretty good shape for us to review it. I thought we would have had a review of it by now,
Yeah.
but
Real soon.
real soon.
Yeah, so forward progress on that. The rest of the infrastructure stuff from my side is on the agenda. I don't know if there's anything else we didn't talk before.
Oh, I'll just throw out a couple things. We're still waiting to hear on the community choice energy thing. We have not yet heard from them. I'm kind of thinking it doesn't look too good. If the price by mid-October isn't any better, I at this point think it's unlikely that's gonna go through at this point. But they could still email us anytime, so we're just waiting to see. One other update, the comptroller's office has not yet released the funding for DEC grants, so we're still waiting on the charger. As soon as we get the money, we're all set to go, we're ready to install it, just a matter of the funds coming from the comptroller's office. And a quick note on complete streets, we're very grateful for Tim and the crew for doing the painting on Court Street, the temporary painting. And we're waiting to hear from the Clarkson crew on the survey, the results of the survey, that Clarkson's gonna provide that. And they'll provide it to the board if we want it here, or we'll arrange a meeting with whatever board members are interested.
Is that survey still open or?
No, it's closed at this point. And we're just waiting to hear from them on the results. So that's in the works. And
Data analysis right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's it. I don't have anything else to report.
Communications and technology, we just spoke of the website, the design is in process. We are beginning a sitemap design, so we got our first sitemap template from Revise, and
Run me
some
over
of
with the
us are
car now.
meeting for what is bound to be an amazing amount of fun to go
It's-
through every single page on the website and decide what lives and what
Mhm.
doesn't. So.
It is,
yeah.
it is
grim
totally a
prospect,
process.
But it's
Yeah.
like, once that's over.
Once it's over,
but
it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's the grim. part.
I did that recently.
But that's
a
a
lot.
we're gonna start that on Friday,
Awesome.
working on it.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like a 10-page spreadsheet
And that's just what they were suggesting to us. We have to go through
and make sure.
every
it's
single
complete.
page on the website. One of the issues with our existing website is that many of the pages aren't linked to anything. They're
Right,
just like
right.
floating about.
Zombies, Yeah.
You have to like
We love
find them.
Floaters, yeah. Mhm.
Yep, good times. CGI is on the agenda. Economic development, if Lee had been here, I would have asked her to speak about the New York Forward,
Mhm.
which I opened up a minute ago.
Which is what we submitted.
Right.
As opposed to
So-
DRI.
Committed, we toured.
Yep, so I just kind of wanted to fill folks in about that because at the last meeting, we talked about the the possibility that we would not it was open. That we would not apply for the DRI, but would instead apply for the New York Forward based on the projects that we received. And so based on those projects, based on the projects that we received, we created a compact walkable boundary. I think many of us have historically thought that much of the projects in Canton, dispersed as they might be, were still pretty walkable, and therefore we have included them. But we received feedback from our last go round that perhaps we should tweak our boundary. So we did that once, so based on the boundary, we had about $8 million in New York Forward requests, $8 million in requests, which is about 31 million in project total project costs. And the technical advisor that we met with suggested that was an amount that was appropriate for the New York Forward. So based on all of that is why we decided to go for the New York Forward. So we put that application together. We like it. We think it's a winner.
Everybody should.
We then, as the mayor mentioned, we did our walking tour. So
With the head of the Regional Economic Development Council. That's the group that's you're really trying to sell to.
So we work together to, coordinate and get project stakeholders, some electeds, et cetera, to do a group tour of the village project sites. So now we wait. So that's that, but I did want to share about that.
What's the time frame of their decision?
I can't remember
The end of
now.
the year,
I mean, it's
maybe.
really whatever is
When they get around to
Well,
convenient for them.
it. Real, it's, towards the end of the year.
It's been
Sure.
different times.
It's a moving, yeah, it's a
Been all
deadline
the-
week,
you know,
yeah.
can't really-
We'll get, if we, yeah.
You'll know when you find out.
Also, just to note that we sent the contract to the county chamber back. We have heard that interviews for the Canton representative have been done, so I believe we're just waiting for offers to be made and such. So we're looking forward to having to meeting our rep soon.
Do you think they'll be there tomorrow with the breakfast?
I'm guessing probably not, but that would be
Just
a
guess.
happy surprise, wouldn't
Wouldn't
it?
that be a happy surprise?
What else am I wanting to say? Also just, I just wanted to give the board a heads up. We have a joint meeting next week. Yes, are we meeting?
Yep.
I believe on the agenda is going to be a resolution supporting our application to be a pro-housing community.
Yep.
And I just want you to, we will circulate that resolution here shortly, probably tomorrow. Just so that you can, take a look of it in advance of our joint discussion. It is essentially, the governor has, put together this sort of, I think the best way I can think of to describe it is a designation as a pro-housing community.
It's been a real focus. at the
Um,
state.
and that really, what we would need to do, there's a couple of categories to, qualify for this designation, to receive it. One of the category that would apply to us, basically just, requires, some work from our code office, some work from our economic developer to, sort of provide information about our code, and, about our policies and practices that sort of, shall we say, encourage housing development. So that's what you're gonna be seeing. I wanted you to sort of get a sense of that before you saw it, because that is next week. I think that's it for me. I know.
Anybody else?
We're on those all together. The only other thing is rec, which you have later on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Communications and information, again, I don't have anything from the county legislator. However, I did get a letter from Kathy Cullen and her husband. This comes as notification to the municipality. Sort of notification of adult use retail dispensary license application. So this person has filed for an application to sell cannabis in our community. It's part of the next step of, next wave of licensing that's come up. There's an opportunity for me to write a letter of support, which I will do. It's not gonna be complicated. Our village code allows it, as long as it's done in, within our business district and according to the rules and laws that are established by the state of New York. So I will put something together for a brief letter of support to the cannabis board, cannabis control board. So. That's,
CCB. We can call it that.
huh?
The CCB.
Yep. I just want to let you know that that's, coming at us.
Mhm.
We didn't take any action to prevent it, so we welcome it.
Yep.
So are they looking at sites yet, or is this too early in the game?
Yeah, they have a site.
I'm sure they'd like to.
Okay, that's fine. We don't have to, okay.
Huh?
I don't need to ask.
Okay. They do have a site.
Okay.
As part of their application. He didn't say I couldn't say.
What's that?
He didn't say I couldn't say. It's
Oh, okay.
51 Main Street. I bet you. These guys are picking up on it.
51 Main Street.
Where is that? Where's 51?
It's right on Main.
Okay.
It's across the street.
Gotcha.
It's next one up from the corner here
Oh,
for buildings for sale.
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah.
So. Yes, so that's what I had to share there. As that develops, we'll let you know, but that notification is the first step. For anyone applying for a license. And, they have to show their intent to the village. I have not received any others. It was a 30-day window that had opened in October for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing the state, it's probably a 10-year process.
Well, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But we have it, so you know it
The
now.
Hunger Games competition.
Process has begun.
Okay, old business. 64 Main Street, there'll be some discussion at the joint meeting.
Yeah.
About where that's going. I believe I sent you the two bids that were submitted. You know, I don't know. I think that someone's asked to decide what's gonna go over there if they're gonna try to remodel that building. So. Next item was 19 Minor. Vern's last day is the 20th.
He's still there.
Well, not much.
The
But hunting
deadline had
season-
been July.
I know, hunting season starts on the 21st, so I will have the keys on the 20th. I have been over there, been through it, so there's still some things left in there, not much, but, he's just having trouble. Yeah. The deadline has been set.
Again.
I blame the proper person, I blame the proper person.
Okay.
No, he was ready,
I mean, he's paying the utilities.
he has been, so,
Yeah,
but he'll be out on the 20th.
Okay.
great.
Community choice, I'm sorry,
Meaning
Friday.
Connie at Church and Community also if he's looking for, if he has stuff that he.
Well, we're gonna,
And doesn't need to get thrown away, Helping Hands in Colton takes furniture.
well, he has, there's not a lot there in furniture, but I'll see what's there on the 20th when I get the keys. And then we'll go back to some of these organizations that may have needs.
Mhm.
And we'll tell you, there's a tremendous amount of dry cleaning that's been left in there over the years, still in bags and everything, and people just haven't picked up.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Also, a free sign works great.
Well, yeah, we can pull it right out on the sidewalk and say free.
Ends put free, you
So
know,
we gotta get to the 20th, see what
Yeah.
Vern does, because until then, it's all this.
right,
And then,
as opposed to a dumpster, I just would like,
well,
can't we try?
we will do our very best to, you know,
And again, the free sign is.
we'll
sometimes
do
a
our very
magical
best. Maybe we'll have an open house, who knows?
There you go, come on,
And if there are. If they're like business clothes, I mean, there's a need for that.
Well, I can only tell you that I have not looked at every piece there, and there's stuff there that's 10 years old.
Okay,
So,
I'd be happy to help facilitate
yeah,
some of that.
absolutely.
close
There's need out there, and I'm sure there's plenty of places for it to go. So that's the deal on that. Next item under old business with the RFQ for engineering services for our sewer project. Those were received. I expect that you evaluated with Tim.
Yep.
What you received, and then we'll have a recommendation for how to proceed.
Do you wanna, or do you want me to?
Sure, well, BNL is our recommendation.
Martin LaJudas.
Martin and Judas is our recommendation. Partly because they already know the most about Canton. They have extensive knowledge of our operations and, you know, that's a pretty big deal. And they were actually, all three were qualified. I mean, they were all, I think those three companies do much of the work around the state. You know, they've each had extensive resumes and places they've done a lot of work. And I think it makes sense to go with the outfit that we know well and it's done a lot of work here and knows Canton the best. It's kind of,
They're, all things are equal, or not equal, they're, you know, it was weighted in that direction, that's
Yeah.
the.
Yep.
I was also appreciative that Tim mentioned that we felt they would staff it appropriately.
Okay.
I think that's an important point too, that you're not gonna, it's not gonna take forever because they won't put enough people on it.
That's key.
I think, to add to what you were saying about sort of the familiarity with projects in the community, I think another one of the things we really were looking at is, sort of evidence of, ability to assist with funding,
Mhm.
and accessing funding. And, while certainly I'm sure that is the case for all of them. I think Barton and LaJudis's, sort of presentation of the product made it very obvious and very clear where their expertise lies in that manner. So we feel pretty good about that recommendation.
Okay, is there any, I mean, the others that you received, certainly worth holding on to for the future?
Absolutely.
Yep,
Okay,
yep, definitely.
okay. So I would take a motion to
So
accept the
moved.
recommendation.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. On the new business. I need a motion to,
I love that.
pay the bills.
Please do. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I need a motion to appoint fire department members, Michael Tracy and Connor Moore.
So moved.
Second.
Good to see all of you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to accept the resignation of Jim Pfeiffer.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
With many thanks for his
Yeah.
years of
Years of
service.
right,
We can do that.
Of course.
Next is to appoint Dan Moyer as the dog warden.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item is authorize an RFP for Cleveland Ave and Milden Road.
Yes. So you all received this, as we talked about, I think we talked about this last meeting. Yeah, we did. We talked about, we have been presented with, sort of the fact that to address the drainage issue on Cleveland Ave, we're looking at about 1.2-ish million dollars. But there is a federal grant called the Transportation's Alternatives Program that would support the installation of sidewalks on Cleveland and Milden, connecting to Goodrich and Farmer. And if we were to receive that grant, then it is very likely that in the process of doing the work of constructing our sidewalks, we would also be able to address the drainage at about a discount of about $600,000 to the village. So.
Like that math.
It's an interesting approach, I
Backing
have to
it.
do more
backing
to
into
pay
it.
less, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
So the RFP that you all received and reviewed is simply a requirement of the Transportation Alternatives Program. So that we would receive the expression of interest, that's what these ones are called. An expression of interest. And that is sort of the part of the process in order to for an engineering firm to provide funding application support services. We know that we have, if we are to go forward with this, we have a lot more work to do than simply applying for the funding. We need to, communicate with the residents. We need to, there's a whole bunch of work. We need to look at right away. There's a bunch, but the deadline for this funding application is coming up. And so we also need to be moving on the process. That is what you have in front of you. And I would make a motion to approve this RFP.
Second.
It's exciting.
yeah,
Is there any further
be
discussion?
a good place to, since Farmer doesn't have a sidewalk on that side, it'd be nice to have a route there for kids to, go to school or anybody walking. Yeah, it's a logical thing, plus it'll save us money.
It is
Creativity.
clear that more work is gonna be needed.
Mhm.
Because
Right.
the residents need to
Sure.
buy it.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
We'll be working on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Yeah. It is amazing how much roads cost.
Mhm.
Those are tiny little.
Well, and once you go beneath the road and you wanna talk to the water and the sewer and the stormwater, then we are
Exactly.
really in trouble.
And not to mention, once you fix that stuff, it's not like you can see it to appreciate it.
Right.
Right,
You know?
right.
know.
You just have to take it on faith.
They-
that
that
it-
There's
it's down there.
some beautiful $1 million pipes
Well,
under
if your-
there.
When your yard doesn't flood, then you will appreciate it.
Yes,
Indeed.
for sure.
Um,
That's great work. Thank you.
CGI videos,
Yeah.
So we
Go ahead.
got the preliminary, a version of the videos. We've gone through them. There's a few, enhancements or changes that we'd like. And so we're gathering some additional, pictures, send to them to include. So, I mean, not huge. I mean, we're not talking about major things, but there's just some things we feel like they didn't quite hit the mark on, and some where they used some canned footage that we think we want, local footage, which we're gathering and sending, hopefully tomorrow.
okay.
So, I mean, conceivably, maybe we would have them to share around by the November meeting. But
I think
at this
so.
point, certainly they'll, be ready to put on our website. So
Okay.
It's exciting.
it is exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe for November, we can put them up.
Maybe we could,
Maybe
we
we
could
could.
watch it. There we go.
Okay.
Again, these are really tweaks. I mean, it's not like
Mhm.
they're redoing, I'm pretty sure the process is not that onerous
Right.
to add some shots and take some shots out.
And overall, I mean, I think we were pretty pleased. Like,
Yeah, overall, I mean, it just, there's a
Yeah.
few subtle things that,
that we know because we live here.
yeah,
Sure.
So,
and
And that's why
in
you're
one
on it.
case, it
Right.
was where the narrative didn't match the picture on the screen. Or they were talking about recreation and they were showing a medical office, that,
Yeah.
that's really not everybody's idea of recreation. So,
Well, depends on what they're giving you.
well, I was saying in general, it's not everybody's idea.
in general.
So, I mean, that's just
Colorful
a little
commentary.
food. So
Okay.
it shouldn't be too complicated.
So you want me to put something on for next month?
Yeah. I feel sure
Okay.
that they'll, by then.
Next item is
Doing
the
lots
levy of
of-
unpaid taxes to St. Lawrence County.
Yeah.
How does that compare, Sally, to other years?
Well, I pulled out last
You
year.
knew we would ask. Thank you.
So as you know, this year's is 61,000, which
Yeah.
includes penalties. Last year's was 95,000.
Oh.
So
Not too
much
bad.
better.
Yay,
Taxpayers are
Yes.
getting
Yeah.
more responsible.
Right.
I love it.
There we go.
Yes.
Excellent.
I haven't looked at the whole list, but.
It's only one page. I thought that was pretty good.
It is really good.
I think good. I mean,
Here's for our standards.
Couple of usual.
One
Yeah.
page.
yeah, I mean,
Perfect.
it's a strategy by some people, right?
I'm curious.
Oh,
about
absolutely.
This.
Yeah.
Very curious about that line. item.
Oh, that was, flood house.
That's what I
Yeah.
figured.
Mhm.
Mm.
So do you need a motion for that?
Yes.
So
Oh, you
moved.
took it.
Second,
So,
second,
sure.
all in favor?
I motion.
Aye.
Actually, you
Aye.
all to sign, so we have to.
Oh. Yes. You probably don't want me to use it.
And nobody's opposed.
Then, no. Anywhere?
Anywhere.
I think the turquoise is amazing.
Well, considered
But is
legal.
your state picky about pen color?
They are, but this is a county. They're not.
What-
Oh, they're okay.
Well, let me do it again.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I remember when we came here a long time ago, like 30 years ago, when we were signing our mortgage, the guy goes, oh, you have the black pen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was the case. with my
And,
mortgage.
it's like, what is that?
Mhm.
We had a prediction, not gonna make it. Close, yeah. So, okay. There, was the outlier.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is, proof hiring of rec employee Nolan Bombard at $17 an hour. Hi, full time.
I'm so excited. I'll be excited in 2 weeks when he's trained.
Has he just started?
Yes, he just started. So luckily, our part-time winter employee, he is trained. He's going solo now, so that's good. So now we just need to get full timer solo and we'll be smooth sailing hopefully.
Mhm. Good deal.
Yep, but he's doing very well so far, so.
Good, here's the smooth sailing.
Give me a motion in a second.
So moved.
All in favor?
I,
Okay.
Woo,
Got it.
you like checking it off? It's a
I
thrill.
do like checking it out. I like iron it better.
And the
but,
last
you
one,
know.
we saved the best for last, was Kevin McGinn's contract.
So, good. Kevin and I had a lot of conversations and our group did, and another 5 years with the added, he knows we're planning for the future and
I agree 100%.
we've
Won't
had,
be there forever.
he won't be there. And none of us will.
And I'll do the best I can to find my replacement.
So the contract has a key element in it for those that are here, that succession planning needs to be discussed starting, in that third year.
Right.
So, yeah,
And we can
whether
be
he's
thinking
going,
about it.
we gotta be talking about it and thinking
I
about
agree.
it, and not whether, this is his last contract ever or not.
But just where we're going.
Just where we're going, so.
Yeah.
We gotta have those conversations.
How long has been? I know this, but I remind me.
23 years.
As I knew it was over 20, I just
So
couldn't. put my-
23 and 23, okay, so 2000, wow.
Yeah.
Well, So,
Okay.
you've got a copy of the contract,
mhm.
need a motion,
So moved.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any
I,
opposed? Got it, carries.
all right.
Question I have, when do I sign it? Cause I'm going to see my granddaughter on Monday.
If,
exciting.
I will sign it tomorrow, I'll print it and sign it.
I'll be in Friday.
It'll be printed and signed and she has to witness and.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to be the last to sign it.
No. But, I'll be down Friday.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm busy. I'm going to Saratoga tomorrow. For golf tournament,
Okay,
which I really didn't want to play in, but I got dragged with it. And then I'm gonna talk to Sac Sales. They're right in that area.
Mhm.
I'm gonna talk to that people too, see what they got going for cards, cause problem we're gonna have with cards. All the parts and everything are made in China. Club Cars having an issue nationwide getting golf carts. We're not the only company that's having that issue, getting the parts. So if the contract runs out next year, we may be thinking about probably putting an order in early as soon as possible
Mhm.
to make sure that we have them. There's another issue we have with Club Car. They have an M core, which goes in next to the accelerating pedal. And the M cores are defective. They only last a certain amount of time and then they don't work at all. I've replaced, they're under warranty right now. We've replaced probably 20 of them this year.
Mhm.
And we're gonna need 50 of them for next year. And without that, if they start to go, the cart will be unavailable to use. So we might have a serious problem with,
So do we need to order them now?
pardon?
Do we need to order them like?
Well, they have to, Club Car has to get them.
They
Got it.
don't have them to send.
But
you
see,
know,
the
yes.
problem is not just St. Lawrence County, it's
Yeah.
nationwide for
Sure.
Club Car.
Sure.
So they have to get that part.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a defective part, so it's under warranty, so it's no cost to us, but.
But if you don't have it, it's a big problem.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
There you go.
It doesn't matter if it's no cost to us, cause it's gonna,
Yeah.
cost us.
Not having it is a cost to
Cost
us.
us, right,
okay,
fantastic,
public comment,
thank you.
Thanks.
public
Thank you
comment,
very much. Yep, see ya.
going once,
Yep.
going twice.
Yeah.
Okay, I need a motion to go in executive session for personnel matter.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Kicking in the shins later.
I will.
Beth and Barb. Is it-
I think so.
Motions, you and, yeah, we got it.
Steer clear.
Yeah.
To go into exec.
Exactly.
Okay, watch your step.
Okay.
Who
I'm
motioned?
happy
Who motioned?
to go into
Beth,
executive.
Sure, and clouds.
I second it.
And everybody said,
Aye.
Thank
Aye.
you for giving.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Sharon.
Sharon.
thank you,
Thank you. Now you know what all the fun is.
Yeah.
Been looking forward to your